comes a new challenger.
Read the Quran from cover to cover on a weekly basis. And that is apparently excluding the Quran, which he would recite during his prayer during the day. He would not likely after the Isha prayer, and he would remain awake outside. Allah, for what else do you know about this great man? He said, النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إلا وقد علمت به. There isn't any hadith that I have written down from the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم except that I made effort to first apply its teaching. And unlike us, Imam Ahmad had memorized hundreds of thousands of narrations, but he made an effort to apply each and every single one of them. For example, he knew that the Prophet ﷺ had cupping therapy, hijama, done, and that the Prophet gave 1 dinar to the therapist. So Ahmad requested cupping therapy on his body and he gave 1 dinar of gold to the therapist. He knew, for example, that the Prophet ﷺ lived in a cave for 3 days during his escape from Mecca to Medina. We asked Ahmad about this. He said, yeah, I found a cave and I spent 3 days in it. Ahmad started to teach at the age of 40. He argued that this was the age of which the Prophet ﷺ received prophethood from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Amazing adherence to the Sunnah, right down to the last breath he shall find out. And the student of knowledge once spent the night at the house of Imam Ahmad, and so Ahmad placed him a container of water so that he could do his wudu and washing for the night prayer. But when Ahmad came to him for the Fajr prayer so that they may pray, he noticed that the water had not been more for his place. So Ahmad said to him, SubhanAllah, رجل يطلب العلم ولا يكون له برد بالله. He said, SubhanAllah, a student of knowledge who does not pray at night? It's saying to him that this knowledge should show up in every what you're doing, including worship. It should change. It should be something that we see about you that changes you. Al-Hasan al-Basri would say, كان الرجل إذا طلب الدين لم يلبث أن يرى ذلك في بصره ولسانه ويده وصلاته وتخشعه وجهده. In the past, when a person starts his journey of knowledge, Al-Hasan, he said, the effects of his journey would instantly start appearing in his glances, his words, his actions, his humility, his humility. Shafi'i also praised Ahmad by saying that Ahmad is an Imam in matters, Imam Hadith, Imam Fiqh, Imam in language, Imam in Quran, Imam in poverty, Imam in minimalism, Imam in work, caution, Imam in this. May Allah have mercy upon this great leader. What do we know of Imam Ahmad's consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? For example, Imam Ahmad showed huge caution from ever speaking without knowledge. He was not afraid to say, I don't know. Because he recognized that speaking on behalf of Allah and His Messenger without sure knowledge is in fact signing on behalf of them both. So I want to share with you a few statements in this regard attributed to Imam Ahmad. How he answered many of the questions. In the old translation, I have not heard anything in this regard. I have not heard of it. I don't know the issue, the ruling issue in it. I don't have the courage to speak of it. I don't have the answers in this matter. I don't have an answer. Ask someone else. Ask the scholars. I fear answering this question. It terrifies me. It's an unclear matter. It's an intricate topic. It's problematic. There's a difference of opinion. They have returned. I prefer to stay safe. I prefer well-being. Please relieve me of this question. These are different sentences. Actually, people to Ahmed all throughout his life, showing that he was not afraid to be so conscious of Allah, scared to answer without knowing. His biography had it. And one of the most important of them is praising unbelievers. A humility to the truth and the courage to say, I don't know. This was the behavior of Ahmed. Although, subhanAllah, he may have actually memorized hundreds of narrations pertaining to the question that he had just declined to answer, but because he is unsure of the strongest opinion, he says, I don't know the answer. Don't think it is a mind blank. Hundreds of narrations are there, but he's unable to declare which is the strongest. Ahmed was also very troubled by the level of fame that he had reached, particularly after the trial that he experienced. Towards the latter years of Imam Ahmed, he would say, أريد أكون بشعب بمكة فله أمر أريد بشهرتي إني أتقبل الموت صباحا ومساء. I want to live in a remote valley, somewhere in Mecca, where no one will recognize me. I have been afflicted with pain, and so I desire death every morning and evening. So pain. Something that some of us can crave today is sort of guilty, and therefore he was asking Allah for death because of it. And it was also once said to him, there were so many people who are making dua for you. And upon hearing this, his eyes fled with tears, and he said, I am so scared that this may be a sign that I am going to my destruction. Don't put it past yourself. Don't put it past yourself. What is fasting? What is charity? What is the recitation of the Quran? What is prayer in congregation? What is your flawless hijab? It is tarnished with this self-admiration we have spoken about today. People have prayed that poison is sufficient to tear down years worth of good deeds. And that's why our predecessors were so afraid of it. And what even was, is that we rarely own up to this. I mean, we hear people saying, hey look, I have pure intentions, or it doesn't bother me whether one person follows me or a million persons follows me. That's quite an unrealistic statement to make. You're honest with yourself. You realize you are being trialed. Ibrahim ibn Adham once traveled to another city and he entered within a particular garden. And the news spread that the great Imam Ibrahim ibn Adham was now sitting this Imam in piety and religion. So everyone known about him. So everyone came into the garden and they hadn't seen Ibrahim ibn Adham before. So they began to say, where is Ibrahim ibn Adham? Where is Ibrahim ibn Adham? So what did Ibrahim do? You know what I'm saying? He began to walk around with them saying, where is Ibrahim? Where is Ibrahim ibn Adham? Ibrahim ibn Adham himself would say, ما صدق الله عبده أحد الشهران. Any person who loves fame has not been true to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Something to think about. Something to inform decisions as well. What do we know about the trial of Imam Ahmed ibn Hanbal? Ya Allah, it seemed as if all of the events of Ahmed's life were leading him towards this one moment where he would need to reaffirm that in answers. At a time when all others around him would crumble. A trial that would cost Ahmed 17 years of his life in total. In fact, I believe that any biography that speaks of Imam Ahmed that does not make mention of this trial is unforgivably deficient. See, the Muslim Ummah up until this point in Ahmed's life was by and large upon the belief, the theology, the creed of the predecessors, saying that Allah speaks, and that speech is an attribute of Allah, a speech of course that befits in Islam, and that the Quran is part of Allah's speech, which he delivered to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam through Angel Jibreel. It's important to understand this. What later happened is that the group would emerge, the Mu'tazila. They would create this new opinion that clashes with the understanding of the predecessors and this Christian belief. And they posited that Allah did not speak the Quran. Their belief was that Allah created the Quran. Before this point in Ahmad's life, the Mu'tazila, this group, they were to some extent clandestine, they were hidden with respect to their belief. They were afraid of the Khalifa, Harun al-Rashid, and he was so...
Terry wins!